We walk the talk, not only talk the talk. We walk the talk, not only talk the talk.
By national government in the global forum to be executed at the local level. Thank you very much.
If I may interrupt, I just would like to say that we are fully on board with your suggestions. We'll do our best with our agencies and country teams to fully support your perspective and in our global advocacy with governments to do exactly what you ask us to do in relation to your own governments.
Thank you very much. Truly appreciate it.
Well, Governor Baswedan, you've already influenced the United Nations with 2 minutes. Imagine if you had 4 minutes.
Thank you.
Indonesian police are under pressure to investigate the country's former president Joko Widodo for corruption. This after an international non-profit organization of investigative journalists announced that Mr. Widodo was a finalist for 2024's Most Corrupt Person of the Year. The winning title ultimately went to former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Shani Bhavani with this report.
A finalist for the 2024 Most Corrupt Person of the Year. The nomination has pushed Indonesia's former president Joko Widodo back into the spotlight. Awarded annually by the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project, or the OCCRP, the title serves to promote accountability and draw attention to those who do the most to wreak havoc around the world through organized crime and corruption. Mr. Widodo's inclusion in the nominations has prompted his former party, the Democratic Party of Struggle, or PDIP, to call on the authorities to investigate the former president for corruption, saying the report could be a reference for the country's anti-graft body and other institutions, such as the National Police and the Attorney General's office, to look into Mr. Widodo and his family. Remember, the PDIP, which is Indonesia's largest political party, officially fired Mr. Widodo in December. Relations soured after he backed rival Prabowo Subianto for president. In response to the nomination, Mr. Widodo has questioned what he was corrupted for and asked for proof. An anti-graft agency...
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Belakangan Indonesia diguncang oleh pemberitaan OCCRP di mana memasukkan nama Pak Jokowi dalam salah satu pemimpin paling korup di dunia tahun 2024. Tentu Pak Jokowi mendunia dan kita juga menyaksikan Pak Anies juga sering disorot di dunia internasional, tapi ada perbedaan besar di antara keduanya di mata dunia. Kita tanpa berlama-lama langsung saja menyaksikan tayangan berikut ini.
An anti-graft agency spokesperson meanwhile has said that any evidence should be brought to the anti-graft body and other agencies, and that all Indonesians are equal in the eyes of the law. Chandni Vatwani, CNA, Jakarta.
A man considered in the running to become Indonesia's next president is former governor of Jakarta, Anies Baswedan, and it's a delight to welcome him into the studio. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for inviting,
Lovely
Beverly.
to meet you. Now tell me, you've met with the Foreign Minister Penny Wong and also the RBA Governor Philip Lowe. I think every Australian wants to meet with him at the moment with these rising interest rates. It is a sign that our government is taking you very seriously and your potential presidential bid. What was important about you? What did you feel was important about coming here and meeting with someone like Penny Wong, someone like Philip Lowe?
Yes, indeed. I'm delighted with the invite from the Australian government to visit, and we both were neighbors, and we'll always be neighbor. And we had worked closely on many issues, and the invite here gave me an opportunity to reconnect with many friends, academia, people in government, as well as business communities, for exchange of views. We share similar challenges in the region.
Give us an idea of what are those challenges in your mind.
For example, we are experiencing challenges in the environmental issues. Climate change is definitely an issue that we have to tackle together. And then about growth and prosperity in the region. And then also balance in terms of stability in the region. So many of that, and it's always good to hear a perspective of our neighbors. And I truly appreciate Australia stands on many issues that Indonesia is facing, and including, which is always repeated, the importance of having an integrated territorial in Indonesia.
Being responsible means respecting international laws and principles of the UN Charter consistently. Being responsible means creating win-win, not zero-sum situations.
وقد شهدت العاصمة الإندونيسية جاكرتا مظاهرات شارك فيها نحو 1,000,000 شخص تنديدا بالحرب الإسرائيلية على قطاع غزة وللمطالبة بوقف إطلاق النار. برلمانيون وقادة منظمات إسلامية إندونيسية.
Let the people of the world see all of us here in the National Monument of Indonesia. We are sending the message of peace to the world. Never let violence go unchallenged. We have to line up and stop Zionist Israel from continuing the violence in the land of Palestine. Send a message to across the world that the Indonesian will never stand by. We will always stand up against colonialism, against violence. We will fight for independence of Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Terima kasih semuanya.
So, everything will be fine. No need to worry.
The prospect for cooperation is definitely big. Yes, on economic side, we have projects that we can have cooperations to take care of, and beside that, people-to-people cooperations is something that we would like to promote further. Cultural exchanges, education exchanges, social exchanges, those are areas that Tokyo and Jakarta could forge further cooperations. And what's also interesting is we both have strong roots in our culture. But on the other hand, we would like to ensure that our government, our economy, our development are state of the art. And I think we share a similar view on that. And also, I would like to make sure that the long-term friendship that we already had in the past will continue in the future.
Yeah, I'm impressed. His English is really good. His grammar is very, very good. He doesn't use a lot of articles, so like at and the.
Okay.
I think is the most common mistake for him is that he just doesn't use it. Do you have articles in Indonesian?
I think not really.
No, because I know some languages like Russian doesn't have or the. It just
Yeah, we don't have that.
that makes sense.
And then like how like he spoke like with the R.
Yeah,
it like sounds like okay. I know like like English is not your first language.
Yeah, his R and his TH. Something like a always a D sound. Instead of that, it's that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also like impressed how like he's thinking about like relationship about like culture and Indonesia. Really like wow.
And he was really eloquent. Like his vocabulary he was using quite difficult vocabulary and quite specific vocabulary.
And his like gesture also like how to like speak.
Yeah.
It's like it's really calm. Not so hurry like speaking. Like it's really like in a line. Ya, Pak Anies Baswedan memang ketika masih menjabat di DKI Jakarta sebagai gubernur, Pak Anies dalam sebuah forum virtual diberikan waktu untuk berbicara, di mana forum tersebut adalah dihadiri oleh Sekjen PBB saat itu, dan tema yang dibicarakan adalah perubahan iklim dan ancamannya di dunia global di masa mendatang. Pak Anies dengan waktu yang sangat terbatas, ya kurang lebih 3 menit, ya bahkan 2 menit, beliau diberikan waktu untuk menyampaikan narasi, ide dan gagasannya terkait dengan perubahan iklim dan ancamannya di masa depan, serta solusi-solusi yang ditawarkan oleh Pak Anies Baswedan dan luar biasa dengan waktu yang singkat itu Sekjen PBB langsung mengiyakan menerima masukan gagasan brilian dari sosok Anies Baswedan. Itulah nama Pak Anies di kancah dunia internasional memandang Pak Anies ini adalah orang hebat dan tentunya juga sangat berintegritas, cerdas menghadirkan solusi-solusi yang kadang-kadang berpikir memberikan sebuah ruang bagi sebuah solusi di mana itu tidak dipikirkan oleh orang lain. Sementara di sisi yang lain kita juga mendengarkan baru-baru ini seperti yang dirilis oleh OCC RP, Pak Jokowi juga mendunia namun dalam tanda kutip namanya dipandang negatif, justru tidak hanya merusak nama Pak Jokowi sendiri, tapi juga membawa citra negatif bagi wajah Indonesia di dunia internasional. Karena bagaimanapun Pak Jokowi 10 tahun 2 periode memimpin Indonesia sebagai presiden, dan itu diindikasikan melakukan ada kejadian-kejadian korupsi yang besar oleh versi OCC RP ini. Dan tentu di masa depan jika memang ini benar akan membuat sejarah Indonesia ini buram, tercederai, memalukan di dunia internasional, karena generasi pada akhirnya akan membaca sejarah Indonesia tahun 2024 salah satu pemimpinnya masuk dalam daftar paling korup di dunia ini. Namun kita berharap di bawah kepemimpinan Pak Prabowo citra itu diperbaiki, bisa memberantas, mencegah terjadinya kasus-kasus korupsi, sehingga Pak Prabowo di sini punya tugas yang berat tentunya, khususnya di dalam pemberantasan korupsi. Kita berdoa semoga ke depan bangsa Indonesia semakin kuat, maju, rakyatnya semakin makmur dan sejahtera, serta berlaku keadilan hukum sosial bagi siapapun itu. Terima kasih, sekian.